Good afternoon, everybody. Today we're going to talk professional wrestling and let people know that professional wrestling is somewhat a show and is somewhat fake. For I've been in the ring, I have refereed matches before, and I know what it's like. They tell me what to look for and everything. And the one thing you need to know is that it's a good show. People go out and they do a good show, they put on a good act because they want you to come out and see them on their show that they do. So, you know what? Make sure when you go out in the audience, when you're in the audience of a show that's professional wrestling, make sure that you cheer and boo as loud as you can because some of all these guys, some of them aren't all alike. Hey, you want to talk about John Cena? Some people hate John Cena. Some people like John Cena. It's just whenever you have an opportunity to be able to go see John Cena, the WWE in your area, make sure you get out there to go see him because they do put on a good show. And you won't walk away disappointed. However, some of the matches, the outcomes that they have, you might not like. I can remember back when hearing stories of when Sam Muchnick did a handshake with Ted Koppler. I've heard Larry Matisick talk about this a number of years ago, where Sam Muchnick did a handshake with Ted Koppler for a number of years to televise Wrestling at the Chase on KPLR TV Channel 11 here in St. Louis. And for the longest time, it ran on Channel 11 every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. And you had announcers like Joe Garagiola, George Abel, who I grew up listening to, along with Larry Matisick, and the ring announcer Mickey Garagiola, who is always there at ringside, at Wrestling at the Chase in the Florissant Room in the ballroom. And some of the matches that were there, they were, fantastic. And that's the way the WWE is. They have a fantastic show. They want you to come out and enjoy and spend your hard-earned money that you earned on watching them wrestle and walk away happy. If you don't walk away happy from the show, then it, it's your own fault. I mean, they put on a good show. It's a family show. It's a clean show. And they just do a good job. They expect, to have a lot of fans come out and watch them. They call that the WWE Universe. And when Wrestling at the Chase was in St. Louis, it was just wrestling, period. There was no universe, no nothing. They filled up the Kiel Auditorium when they had professional wrestling matches at Kiel Auditorium in downtown St. Louis. I can remember going to several of them, and I can remember going with some of my friends and stuff and having a good time. I can remember we got to sit down by the ring a few times on the main floor and used to be able to watch them right there in the ring and had a good shot at them inside the ring. I mean, it was just that good of wrestling. And wrestling today isn't what it used to be. Wrestling today, it's all different. I mean, what you see on television is not the same as you would see, as what you saw back in the 60s and 70s with people like guys like Dick Murdoch, Harley Race, Moose Choloff, Killer Kowalski, Ivan Putski, guys like that, who, if you just to name a few here, want to go back and look and relive the annals of professional wrestling. I mean, these guys did it all. These guys had body of stone and muscle and everything else. But hey, they made a living at doing what they do, and that's going out in the ring every night and beating the tar out of each other. I mean, that's how these guys made their living. And if you were a champion during your time, you got more money on being champion than you did as if you were not champion. And when you walked in as champion, you always hoped that whoever you wrestled that night would not beat you for the title, for the belt, because you wanted that prestige, you wanted that money, you wanted to bring it all in and bring it all home. And sometimes you did, and sometimes you didn't. It all depended on who you went up against that night. And sometimes during that night, you just don't know who you were going to wrestle because you didn't know who until you got in the ring. And or in some cases, you signed contracts, and you knew who your opponent was. But nowadays, there's a lot of trash talking going on in the world of professional wrestling. I mean, you look at Randy Orton, you look at Dolph Ziggler, you look at people now that are in the WWE who they come out there every night on a nightly basis and they run their mouth. But a lot of times, can they back up what they say? Sure they can. Other times they can't. But you got people that are well liked, you got people that aren't well liked. And you know what? This Sunday is Survivor Series coming up in the WWE in Indianapolis, Indiana. You know what? Anything can happen. Anything can happen because you don't know who's going to win. Just like with Sheamus and the Big Show. They're going to have a rematch for the world title this Sunday at Survivor Series. Is Sheamus going to walk out the world champion again? We'll find out. We don't know until that match gets here, but we will find out this Sunday on whether, if or not, Sheamus walks out the World Heavyweight Champion after beating Big Show, or if he loses the Big Show. There's a lot to be determined here. We don't know exactly what it is, but we're going to find out come this Sunday on pay-per-view. Don't forget that the WWE will be in Indianapolis for the pay-per-view this Sunday. And then make sure that you watch Monday Night Raw this Monday coming up following the WWE pay-per-view to see on who wins or who has won the World Heavyweight title, and if there is a new World Heavyweight Champion, and if Big Show kept the world title. We will find out all of the answers to these questions and more this Sunday live from Indianapolis on pay-per-view. There's more to come on the subject of professional wrestling, and we'll have that later on tonight with my partner here. We'll have a discussion on WWE, we'll have a discussion on Wrestling at the Chase, we'll have a discussion on just about anything to do with professional wrestling and more. So stay with us, and we'll be back later on tonight with more on professional wrestling. Until then, this is Mark Holloman saying so long, everybody, from St. Louis, Missouri, Granite City, Illinois. We'll see you later. So long.